Good morning, guys. I hope your Thanksgiving yesterday was a good Thanksgiving, and you guys got to be thankful. Just use it as a day to be thankful for the Lord and about the Lord, and be in unity with family and come together and share a meal and use that day to glorify the Lord. So anyway, I wanted to share some things with you and a little praise report. Yesterday, my husband took the car. Now our check engine light soon has been on all through the summer, and we got a notice from the DMV that with this registration we would have to smog our car, and you can't smog your car with the check engine light on. And I know exactly what was wrong with why the engine light was on, because I've had problems with the EGR valve. And so I've had to get in there and unbolt the EGR valve. There's like one little bolt, and then you pop out the wire. There's like little plugs. You pop those out, and then bam, it's off. And so I'd have to get in there, WD-40 it, and put it back on, clean everything out, blow some air through there, and put it back on. But it doesn't last forever. And I went down to the auto part store and bought another EGR valve. It didn't even last a year. The light came back on, so I don't know. But so they sent me that notice, and I was like, "What, already?" And so it was pretty amazing. My husband came back and he said, "Oh, by the way, the check engine light went off when I was driving." And I said, "What?" Because I'd been just so fretting about it. Like, what are we going to do? And usually after I would do some work on it or when I changed out the valve, or I'd take it off to clean it, I would have to run it. They say, "Oh, run it. It takes like a while, like a few days for it to go, the computer to go through the cycle. So the check engine light will go off." Or even if you have someone turn the light off for you, like reset it, it will still show up on the smog that it has been reset. So what I would do was I would go through the motions manually. Like, I don't know, you guys, I've had such clunker care in my life, so I've had to look these things up and just do it myself. But to run the computer through the cycle, you can do it manually. So like, you'll let your car warm up for 5 minutes on a cold start, and then you'll take off, and then you drive it for like at least 5 minutes between 20 to 45 miles an hour, and then you speed up from 25 to 65 within a certain amount of seconds on a highway, and then you run it like that for 5 miles, and then you get off and you come to an abrupt stop. You manually cycle it through the computer, and so it clicks off. So mind you, I have all these things going through my mind, and we have just a few days left before we have to have the smog in. We already paid for our tags, but you still have to have the smog. And I was just fretting and frantic and worrying myself sick about it. And yesterday, lo and behold, a miracle. The Lord shut off that light. He fixed the problem. The check engine light went out, and we were both amazed. We were like, praise the Lord. It is God, because there is no other way that could happen. So I want to give him all the thanks, the praise, and the glory for helping us right at the right exact moment. And last night, I had a dream that, now it's just like probably a personal dream, you guys, but I just want to give God all the glory. All right, guys, so I was interrupted, but so I had this dream last night that I was speaking in tongues in my dream, and usually, well, all the time when I speak in tongues, I pretty much know what I'm saying. there are certain words that I use over and over again, and praise the Lord, have been given the interpretation of those words. But in this particular time in my dream, when I was speaking in tongues, I didn't know what I was saying, but I knew that my heart was crying when I was saying these words in this tongue. It was a different tongue. I wasn't familiar with it. It was something completely different. And when the words started coming out of my mouth, it surprised me in my dream. But I knew as I was speaking this language, my heart was broken. And then I think I had just a whole separate dream that I was getting married, and it was going to be really soon. And I was actually marrying two men. And I was thinking, should I have both or should I? It was really weird, you guys, but the name of the two men were Paul and Michael. And before I was to get married to these men, I was watching this projector with this other person. He was running the projector. And it was all these men's credentials and why they're good matches for me. And I just remember feeling so in love and stuff. But I believe that it is confirmation of that the rapture is going to be very soon. And you guys, this war is going to start really soon. And as I was thinking about this, I reflected back onto a dream that I had where I seen a projector screen, and it said, you know, in the old time films, it goes 3, 2, 1, beep. And then it starts just to run the movie, like in the old days, you know. And I remember that dream where I kept seeing 3, 2, 1, beep. And then it started to show me people in the Middle East. They were terrified. They were running around, grabbing their kids. People were scattering. They had like the old Bible type clothes on and with the headscarves and everything else. And they were running around, and they were huddled into different places together, and they were scared, and they were looking up at the sky trying to listen. And some people, there were groups of people, and they had dug shallow holes, and they were all laying in there on their sides for safety. And so that's what made me flash back on the projector. And I believe that someone had commented and said it was Israel, because Israel's about ready to be, bombed. And I seen a few days ago that someone said Israel person said they are surrounded as we speak. They're setting people up, and they feel like they're surrounded. So I don't know, guys, but just keep them in your prayers, and things are going to start taking off pretty soon. Precursors, alliances are being made. We see precursors to stuff happening right now. All right, I got to go, you guys, but I love you, and have a blessed day.